we had to like do some stuff inside.
She's a happy, bubbly 6-year-old who clearly loves her dad.
You told her you did your homework?
He's a single parent on welfare, stressed, broke, and desperate. We're not allowed to show their faces.
We're very tight. We love each other very much. It's just that we can't go around like this any longer.
6 years of raising his daughter on his own. With rent eating up 3/4 of his welfare check, there's no money left for clothes or food. He wants the Children's Aid Society to take his daughter and care for her because he can't.
Well, I'm crashing. My engines are on fire and I'm going down. But maybe I can save my daughter from getting totally devastated.
It's hard to believe any parent would consider such a drastic move, but many are finding themselves facing the same dilemma here in Ottawa Carleton.
This family's like 70% of all of our families. They pay money out of their food allowance every month to pay the rent.
Affordable housing in this region is virtually non-existent, and rent is going up. Last year, 4,000 families were evicted from their homes because they couldn't afford to pay the rent.
That's happening to a lot of folk.
This anti-poverty group says the Harris government's cuts to welfare have gone too deep.
The same government that won't give him enough money to raise his child on his own will give the Children's Aid enough money to raise that child quite adequately.
The welfare cuts of 3 years ago still are affecting people. They're not allowed to have any savings or receive support from others. So often what we're seeing is the relationships in families are really strained.
Could you call me back in regards to this Class A driving job?
This former truck driver is on the hunt for a job.
That's about the only thing I can see that's going to save us. Something permanent, something that pays well.
In the meantime, though, he's contacted Children's Aid to begin the process to give his daughter up.
I think it will destroy her. I think it'll destroy me.
Joanne Schnurr, CJOH News.
I'm calling into a job offer.
This single father, who we can't identify, was working the phones this morning, trying to follow up on any job opportunity to keep his family together. With rent eating up 3/4 of his welfare check, the 40-year-old says he can't properly care for his 6-year-old daughter and believes she'll be better off in foster care. When the owners of this landscaping company saw our story last night, they immediately called with a job offer, minimum wage and seasonal, but maybe something.
We just felt compelled to call in, and it was just so awful that a parent had to go through that, and to feel that their only option is to relinquish rights to their child is really a very telling thing about our society today, that people feel like they don't have any options.
The Armstrongs live in a tiny house in Kempville, but they say they have room for his 6-year-old daughter, at least until the father gets on his feet again.
It's inconceivable to think that you'd have to give up your child just so you can live.
The region's social service department says its goal is to get people off welfare and into a job. Dick Stewart says it's impossible to raise a family on welfare now.
As an individual and as a social worker, I'm appalled by some of the policies that we implement, but this is the law of the land.
John Baird is the minister responsible for that law.
When we were first elected, welfare rates were so high, people were turning down minimum wage jobs because they could get more on welfare. And I think that's a terrible thing to do, to say to people it's better to be on welfare than to be working. And we want to make sure that we have incentives for people to be able to take advantage of the benefits of the job.
This father plans to pursue any job offers, but isn't very confident. He says his hope for a good full-time job is just a pipe dream.
I need a Band-Aid with glue on it that's going to stick to the problem and heal the wound.
Joanne Schnurr, CJOH News. Joanne Schnurr, CTV News, Ottawa.